The Israeli army said it strike Hezbollah's targets in the towns of Eta Ash-Shab and Adisit Marjayun in the south of Lebanon. Air Force aircraft struck a military facility of Hezbollah in the area of Eta Ash-Shab in south of Lebanon, and another military infrastructure of the militia in the area of Al-Adisit Marjayun, after the soldiers of Battalion 869 Israeli Army identified fighters there, the army said in a statement. It added, "Today, Sunday, 3 anti-tank missiles Hezbollah doesn't have tanks were fired towards the Shechala area and Jabal el-Manara in the Galilee north." The Israeli army further stated that it fired at the sources of missile strike vehicles and other targets in southern Lebanon. A Syrian worker succumbed to injuries he sustained in an Israeli warplane attack on a car in Bekaa Valley in eastern Lebanon. On Sunday, the state-run Beirut National News Agency reported these strikes came as tensions continued to mount along the border between South Lebanon and North Israel amid intermittent exchanges of fire between Israeli forces and Hezbollah in the deadliest clashes since the two sides fought a full-scale war in 2006. The flare-up strikes comes amid an Israeli military offensive in the Gaza Strip that has killed over 32,200 Palestinians, mostly civilians, women and children. More than 70,000 Israelis who live far from Gaza but close to the front line of another spiraling conflict have in recent months been ordered from their homes along Israel's northern border with Lebanon, the first mass evacuation of the northern area in Israeli history. In one Israeli border town, anti-tank missiles fired from Lebanon have damaged scores of buildings and homes. In another village, settlers who refused to evacuate said they avoided turning lights on at night to keep from becoming visible targets, acknowledging the proximity of the fighters across the border. The evacuations and an effort in Lebanon to move around 80,000 of civilians away from the border are the result of an intensifying conflict between Israel and Hezbollah, the Lebanese militia and political organization. The exchange of fires along Israel's northern border is being fought in parallel with the more intense war in Gaza, which Israel launched after Hamas's attack. Now also in its sixth month, the battle with Hezbollah has implications both for the prospects of a wider regional conflict and for the thousands of civilians who live along the frontiers on both sides. Lebanon's Hezbollah movement on Sunday announced the martyrdom of two of its fighters in attacks by Israel, accusing the IDF of trying to expand its strikes. The accusation came after security sources reported two Israeli air force strikes deep inside Lebanon, in the Lebanon's eastern areas, but fears have surged of an all-out conflict in recent weeks with Israel launching air strikes deeper into eastern Lebanon targeting Hezbollah strongholds in the Bekaa Valley area several times so far. Today, Israel army is trying to expand its attacks against civilians in Baalbek, in the western Bekaa or elsewhere. Hezbollah's deputy chief Naim Qassem told Sunday there will be responses to each of the attacks. Hezbollah did not specify where its two fighters died or give other details, but said they died as martyrs in Israeli Air Force attacks. Earlier Sunday, an Israeli strike on a car near the Syrian border killed a civilian, security source told, after overnight fire. Also in Lebanon's east, 4 people were wounded, a second security official told. The house in the northern Israeli village of Mechela, once a favored holiday resort, now is a mostly empty ghost town, is one of scores hit in the past 6 months by the Lebanese group Hezbollah, which says it's acting to support the Palestinians of Gaza. Hamas group have been exchanging cross-border fire almost daily since the Gaza war between Israel and Hamas military. His insecurity highlights the potency of the conflict that is underway on Israel's northern border with South Lebanon. Occasional spikes in fighting are a reminder that if clashes get out of hand, they will prove harder to resolve and end with even greater devastation than the war in Gaza.